I just wish that the way that it was put online wasn't, because a lot of it was lies, you know? And again, I've tried to clear up a lot of stuff. People are not going to listen. And I mean, it is what it is. And people behind cameras know exactly what happened.
What is up, everyone? I'm your host, Alanized, and this is Noche de Pendejadas, your favorite talk show turned podcast en donde yo traigo a tus influencers favoritos para platicar y posiblemente sacarle sus trapitos al sol. Please help me welcome tonight's guest, Amanda Solis. Hello, ¿cómo estás, amiga? Bienvenido al podcast. Can I just say one thing, you guys? As soon as Amanda got here, I was gagged, bitch, because we were texting, right? Y me acordé que hoy pasa la barredora, so I was like, oh my God, let me text her, because ha pasado antes to where like people might get tickets, but me thinking you were gonna come with someone or someone was gonna give you a ride or possibly Uber, le texteo a la Amanda and I was like, hey, like, are you gonna get dropped off? And she's like, oh no, like I'm driving. And I was like, driving? The reason why I said that is because I started driving almost like at 19, 20.
Oh my God.
How's that been?
Good. Honestly, I think I'm so used to like driving at this point, you know, freeways, everything, that I kind of just drive for myself. You know, I started when I was 13. You know, my mom would need stuff from the store. She'd be like, oh, agarra lechuga. I'm like, okay, I'll go right now really quick. But yeah, now I'm kind of like, I'm almost 17, so I'm trying to get my permit. So I need to learn how to drive. So I'm actually a pretty good driver now.
Y llegaste en troca. How does that feel? Because you're so tiny. Luego tu pinche carrote grande. Like, does it feel weird driving a big truck? Or you have to
No, I actually like big cars.
You don't like little ones?
Like I do, but I don't know. I'm more comfortable in like a big car. I don't know. I feel like...
You know what it is? Me too. But I'm a big person, you guys. I'm 6 feet tall, para los que no sabían. I drive a Jeep. So I for some reason, whenever I'm in like anyone else's car that isn't like a tall car or big car, me siento como muy grande.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe ella sabe sentir muy chiquita, pero no, güey.
No, I like a big car.
Como si fuera carro para ella, you guys. Obviamente tienes 16 años y hoy, you guys, la traje aquí al podcast porque yo la quiero conocer un poquito más, igual que ustedes. Pero antes de que empecemos con el chisme, yo le voy a pasar a ella el micrófono para que nos diga un poquito más de quién es y qué hace.
So my name is Amanda. For those of you who don't know, I am 16. I'm going to be 17 in May. And yeah, I mean, I'm kind of just here. I live in LA, but I'm everywhere. You know, if you need me somewhere, I'm there.
Y haces contenido de todo, right? Like, you do get ready with me's, live videos, de todo hablas con tu contenido.
I like all content.
Yeah.
I like what everyone does. I'm like, I want to do what everyone's doing, you know, give... my viewers or my supporters anything like that they want to see or whatever.
Lifestyle content for me is my favorite because obviamente me gusta como el beauty content y todo eso, but I really do love seeing people just be themselves and just kind of share their life with the people, and that's kind of what you do. Pero ya vamos a empezar con el chisme, amigas. Yo quiero saber un poquito más de la Amanda, and I'm going to start off with the question que siempre empiezo with, and that is, ¿cómo fue Amanda growing up?
Ooh, I was sassy. I'm going to tell you that I was such a drama queen. You know, I'm still emotional to this day, but I'm such a crybaby, you know. Growing up, it was mostly just like me and my mom.
Are you the only child?
No, I have two brothers. I have an older brother and I have a younger brother. Yeah. I actually was born in San Antonio and I lived over there for like till I was 4. And then I moved to California with my mom and my older brother. And then we moved in with my aunt for a little bit, for like a year or so. And then from there, we found our apartment in like Maywood, if anyone knows where that is at. And we stayed there for like 10 years. And now we're in Downey and we're just trying to like, you know, figure everything out.
Se vinieron tú y tu mamá solas, sin tu papá. Y me estabas contando ayer que tus papás se separaron.
Sí.
Cuéntanos un poquito más de qué te recuerdas de esto. Do you remember them ever having like a convo with you? Like, mira, hija, ya no vamos a estar juntos, tú vas a estar con tu mamá. ¿O cómo pasó todo eso?
Pues, you know, I was little, so I didn't really know much, but I did see a lot. And, you know, growing up, I realized what I saw, and it was, you know, my dad not being a good father nor a boyfriend, because they weren't married or anything. But I do remember that he was very disrespectful towards my mom, you know. He was a father to us at some point, but after, you know, when we moved to California, he kind of just didn't really keep contact with us anymore. When he would come to LA, he wouldn't really tell us until he's already here. Yeah, so growing up, I
¿Y
still
él
wanted to
venía
see
con
my dad.
planes para verlos o venía con planes
Para ver
separados?
like his other family, like his side of the family, and he would tell us like, "Oh, I'm in LA. When can I come see you guys?" But it's like when he's already here,
Yeah.
so it would be so last minute. And we'd be like, "Well, we have plans." But me being a little girl, I wanted my dad. So every time he'll come, I'll be like, "I want to see him, mom. I want to see him." And my mom, yeah, go ahead. That's your dad. I want you to see him. My mom like always told me like, your dad's not a good guy. And I never listened to her, and I'm like, you're lying. Like, in my eyes, he was. But, again, as I'm growing up, I'm seeing like he was never really a good father.
Growing up and not having your dad in the picture,
Yeah.
did you ever like at one point blame your mom kind of more like, oh, por tu culpa, or why did you have to leave? ¿Por qué no estamos todos juntos? Did that ever cross your mind maybe when you were smaller?
No, I don't think I've never ever blamed my mom, because my mom always does what's best for us. My mom has always given us everything, even if it was when we were struggling, like she's always tried to give us everything. I've never blamed her. So, I knew that like couples never really like were always together or always stayed together. So I kind of understood that, things didn't work out, and that's fine. But I think what was mostly hard with the whole like situation with my dad was him getting with another girl, which is my stepmom. I love her so much. And he had a little girl, which is like my half sister, I guess you can say. Yeah. But seeing him treat her kind of how I wanted to always be treated as a little girl, that hurt a lot. It really did. It was like seeing her get everything that I always wanted.
Was
as a
it
little
hard
girl.
for you to accept it que tu papá ya tenía otra hija?
Of course, I was so jealous. I was a little envidiosa. Like, I was so jealous of the little girl. Obviously, I had so much love for her, but I was like, I wish I was her. Like,
Yeah.
I wish whatever my dad is giving her, he gave to me. Even if we were states away, I wish that he had given me like that father figure, even like just a little bit. Sometimes he'll just call here and there, but the calls would be like a minute. For my birthday one time, he called me, and the call was 4 minutes long, and I only talked to my little sister for most of the time.
When's the last time you saw him?
Ooh, over a year ago, I think.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
¿Y cómo fue eso? Like, did you see him planeado, or was it just like kind of like a random thing?
Well, he had came to LA again. He didn't tell me until he was already here. And he was at my grandma's house. And he was like, oh, I want to see you guys. And at that time, I didn't want to see him because of something that had happened before, which is why I had kind of stopped talking to him. I was just like, you know what? I'll just give him the benefit of the doubt. Go see him, whatever. So I went to go see him, and it felt so uncomfortable and weird. I was texting my mom the whole time, like, I don't want to be here. I feel awkward. So she ended up picking us up a little bit after. He wanted us to stay over and everything, but I just didn't feel that connection with him anymore. Like, I think I just outgrew him. That, yeah, he's my dad, but I don't think I owe him any of my time. Like, he was never able to give us his time, so I don't think I should be wasting my time on him anymore if he's not really, wanting to communicate back with us.
I feel like you're getting to a point, especially in age, donde estás realizing that cuando ustedes lo necesitaban, cuando tú querías que él estuviera ahí contigo, no lo estuvo. So now you're like, you know what? Like, I don't need to have him in my life porque ahora ya no lo necesitas, Did your mom end up remarrying?
Yeah, she did.
She did. How was that for you? Was it hard to accept that, like, now you have, like, somewhat another, like, paternal figure in your life?
Honestly, I liked him. That was my stepdad for most of my life. I think he gave me that father figure. They did divorce in 2019, I believe, 2020.
Okay, a couple years ago.
Yeah, so it was kind of when I started 7th grade-ish. So I was going through a little rough time at that time as well because of everything that was going down with the divorce. But he did give me like a father figure. Again, I think I more so wanted it from my dad. But I really love and I thank him for giving me that, telling me, helping me, and teaching me all these things.
Tus papás, they separated when you were very, very young. And I'm sure a lot of the things are kind of a blur. You know what I mean? Now, your stepdad and your mom divorced a couple years ago. Do you feel like that affected you in any way? Almost as if it were your biological parents divorcing?
Kind of, yeah. Because I was closer to him than I was to my actual dad. So seeing, him pack his stuff and walk out of the house for the last time. Like, I didn't think that was going to be the last time. I thought they were going to work things out. And they kind of tried to work things out after. But, again, not all couples work out. He's a great father, But as my mom said, he might be a great father, but sometimes he might not be a good husband. That's something that opened my eyes a lot, too. And that my mom always told me, she's like, don't ever settle for less. Like, if you see any type of problem with someone, like, don't even waste your time on it. If you see that they're not changing, don't waste your time on it, And yeah, I've always seen that, and I've always tried to look for that in someone. It's like, if you're not going to fix any type of problems that you have with yourself, communication, anything at all, like, I'm not going to continue to waste my time.
¿Cómo te das cuenta tú que tu mamá and your stepdad were divorcing? Did they like sit down and tell you like, mija, mira, esto es lo que va a pasar? Or was it just kind of like something that happened and you just kind of had to accept?
It was more both. It was like both. So I remember this vividly because this is the day that he walked out, but they were in like a very verbal argument. And, you know, they were going back and forth, and my mom was sitting on the couch eating her pomegranate. And she was like, say bye to him, he's leaving. She's like, I don't want, like, he's not going to be with us anymore. You know, we're not good together anymore. Just say bye, whatever. And I just remember bawling my eyes out. I was like, damn, like, this is actually, like, for real, you know? And I said bye to him, and from there, like, I broke down. But I think being with my mom more, like, she helps me and I help her a lot. Yeah. And we're there for each other. I think ever since then, me and my mom became inseparable. Like, me and her are so close. Like, I tell her everything. That's literally my best friend. I feel like, you know, before me and my mom were never that close. But like recently, like 2 years ago, we got super close. I tell her literally everything.
I do see that. You know, cuando miro la relación con tu mamá, se mira so pure and so much love. Yeah. Like, I can see how much trust just by the videos. Just by, because, you know, obviously I've seen your mom on your lives or just like on your content. Sí se mira que you truly do trust your mom so much. And that's something that not a lot of, you know, mother and daughters have. You know what I mean? Like, having a relationship like that is really, really hard to come by. Que ahorita quiero platicar un poquito más de eso, but I want to go ahead and jump back a little bit to your relationship with your dad. You know, ya que estás creciendo, tienes 16 años y lo que te falta de crecer, do you feel like at one point or at any point you feel like your biological dad not being in your life affected you in any way to the person you've become today?
Most definitely. I think issues of feeling like, oh my God, are they gonna leave me? Oh my God, am I not good enough for them? Because I had a long talk with my dad like a year ago when I saw him. And I told him everything. I blurred out everything I felt since the moment that I had lost respect for him back in 2020. I just blabbed it all out to him, and I told him how I really felt, and I felt like he was never there, you know?
Yeah.
And every time I needed someone, like, he didn't know how to be there. Like, and he started saying like, oh, I became a dad at 17. I was young. And it's like, but you weren't there, you know? Like, how are you going to say that you became a dad, but you never really did? And it still hurts, you know, hearing those words come out of his mouth. It's like, did you not want to be a dad? Like, did you not ever want us in your life or something, you know? And I just remember crying to him and telling him, like, I was your princess, you know? Like, why do you have to treat your kids this way? Like, he will not show us any type of
like
effort
affection or
anything. Yeah, like, with the whole child support, everything, he will not pay. He won't. He just won't.
Nos cuentas un poquito de que, you know, you had a fallout with your dad almost a year or two ago. Was that your breaking point?
Yes. This happened actually back in 2020. So it was a little while ago. I had went on a trip to Houston because my grandpa had recently passed. So we went on a trip to Houston, all of us together as a family. And since he stays in San Antonio, he found out we were going to be in Houston. Or I messaged him. I told him, like, I want to see you, you know? So he's like, okay, like, I'll drive to Houston and I'll go see you guys. So I was like, okay. So, you know, I was getting ready. We went to this, like, carne asada con la familia. He was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to start driving over there. Like, I'm going to go pick you guys up. It's one of my cousin's birthday. We're going to go to his party, whatever. I was like, okay. So, keep in mind, I mean, this time my brother kind of already saw what I'm seeing now. Yeah. So he didn't want to see my dad.
And he's older than you, correct? Okay.
So at that point, I didn't understand. I was like, why don't you want to see him? Like, that's kind of fucked up, you know? Like, he's coming all the way from San Antonio to come see us. Why don't you want to see him? He's like, I just don't want to. And me being me, you know, I was 12, 13 at the time. So I was like, oh, well, I want to see him. So I went, and he's like, oh, okay, like, I'm on my way. He's like, come outside. I go outside, and it's these random girls that picked me up. He wasn't even in the car. Some random
like
girl.
Mando a alguien por ustedes. Oh, shit.
And I get in the car, and I feel awkward. I'm in there by myself. You know, my phone is like at 30%. And she's like, oh, hi, like, I'm blah, blah, blah. I know you when you were little. Like, I used to carry you when you were a baby. You know, like those
and
girls.
you're like, bitch, I don't care.
Yeah,
Who
like,
are
bitch,
you
I
now?
don't know you. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay. So I was just like, oh, okay. And then, like, this girl ends up picking up, like, 3 other people. And I'm just, like, in the car by myself. And I'm like, what the fuck?
She's all taxi driver.
Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, like, where's my dad? And she's like, oh, he's already drinking. So he couldn't pick you up. And I was like, okay. So I didn't, like, find that, like, super weird, but it was like, why are you gonna tell me you're gonna come pick me up, and then you have some random girl coming to pick me up, you know? As soon as I get there, I can already smell the alcohol in his breath. I don't know anybody at the party. It's just him. And I sit down on the couch, and he goes with his primos, and he's over there smoking, drinking, whatever, and I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck do I do, you know? And my phone is already at 10%, like, cause I was using my phone in the car. It was so awkward. And I was like, okay, like, what do I do? You know? And he's like, go play with your cousins. And I'm like, I don't know these people. Like, who are my cousins? I've never met these people. But I ended up, like, playing hide and seek with them outside. And keep in mind, it was like 40 degrees outside. It was
bitch,
so
you
cold.
All freezing?
Yes, it was so cold because it was during, like, Thanksgiving.
Okay,
so it
yeah.
was cold over there. So I was playing. We were playing, like, football. We were throwing the footballs. And then it was to the point where, like, he didn't talk to me at all the whole time. And at one point I went inside and I was like, I kind of want to go home. And he was like, no, like, I just paid the banda another hour for you. And I was like,
you're like, what? For me?
Yeah. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, I just gave them $400 for you. And I was like, just give that money to me. Like, give that money to my mom. Like,
you're like, yo no voy a disfrutar la pinche banda. La que los están disfrutando son ustedes.
And I was like, yo sí quiero bailar, but like, no.
Not for $400.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I told him, I told him straight up, he was drunk, but I did not care. Like, I'm telling you, I was sassy. I was like, why don't you give that money to my mom, like, for child support? And he was, I don't know what went through his head that he thought this was okay to say. But he was like, oh, I have so much money, like, oh my God, this and this and that. Like, your mom, she's always talking shit. She don't really care for you guys the way I do. And I'm like, I told him, I was like, you were never there. I was like, what are you talking about? And I just remember sitting down on the couch and he was just like talking to me and telling me all this. And then in this couch, there was like the little storage
like
things.
Yeah.
So he opens and he's like, that storage, if I can fill it up with all my money, all my hundreds. I have so much money.
And you're like, pues pagar child support,
yeah,
my love.
And then literally when I said, I was like, then pay my child support. Like,
literally, I'm like, give me
run up my money.
Ando con mis fachitas todos los días, dame para agarrarme nueva ropa.
No, yeah. And then he was just like, why didn't your brother come? And I was like, because he doesn't want to see you, you know? And that, like, right then and there, I was like, go with your cousin.
Like, it changed your whole mood.
Yeah, it really, like, I was like, wow, like, that's so messed up, you know? So I was like, go with your cousin, you know? And I was like, I'll just be here. And I was like, do you have a charger? And he gives me a charger. I charge my phone and I'm texting my mom like, Mom, please come pick me up. And at this point, I'm already like almost tearing up because of how pissed I am at the fact that he wasn't even saying that shit about my mom. Like, oh, she doesn't care about you guys. I'm like, are you serious right now?
Like, she's been the only one taking care of us. Yeah.
So my mom and my stepdad come pick me up. And as soon as she's outside, I'm like, Dad, my mom's here. I'm leaving. And he's like, no, please don't leave. And then starts hugging me, being affectionate. I'm like, what are you? All of a sudden, now you want to be affectionate. So I start walking outside and he's following me. And I open the door and he's like, wait, mommy, wait. And then he holds the door open and he gets my hand out of the car and he's hugging me. He's like, I love you so much. Like, I hope I get to see you again and whatever. And I was just like, yeah, okay. I got in the car. I closed the door and my mom's like, you're an ass. Rolls up the window and we leave. And I'm sitting down in the back and I'm like, looking up in the sky, whatever. And I just start crying. Aww. I'm like, what the hell just happened?
Like, you were heartbroken.
Yeah, it's like I was expecting to spend time with you one-on-one because I haven't seen you in like 3 years. And this is what you give me. Like, you're smoking, drinking, you're choosing that over like
your daughter that you barely see. Yeah.
And I was just like, damn, that's messed up. And at that point I realized I see what my brother sees now. Yeah. Like, I was like, damn. And I got to my stepdad's cousin's house where we were staying at the time. And everyone saw me crying. Everyone was asking me if I was okay. And, you know, all his family was comforting me, telling me, you don't need him. Like, you have us, whatever. And I was just like I felt so loved at that moment. But I also felt heartbroken that, like,
that love wasn't coming from him.
I can't believe, like, I witnessed that and I went through that at that time. I was just like, damn, like, he really put his daughter through that, you know? Like, he doesn't even see what's wrong with it.
Did he ever apologize for that or no?
When I had to talk with him about a year ago, he did, but he was super drunk. Like, he was so drunk. And I actually have a recording. I have a recording because I was like, I'm going to show this to him when he's sober. And I still, to this day, I haven't showed him. But I showed it to my mom. And you just hear me crying my eyes out. But it's like him saying, like, he's sorry. But then he's like, I became a father at such a young age. You know, I didn't know what I was doing. Your mom was so mean to me. And I was like, like, that was you, you know? Like, you were the one that was rude to my mom, and that's why she left.
Which I feel like is super understandable because, like, yo soy una de esos tipos de persona that even though, like, let's say I have something or I feel some type of way with someone, I always try to, like, ponerme en sus zapatos, you know, because a veces como que bloqueamos other people's ways of thinking just because, like, estamos bien centrados en lo que nosotros pensamos. But, like, even if, you know, he did become a young parent, like, ya ahora está grandecito to where, like, he could have turned, even at that time, 4 years ago, I'm sure. How old was he when you went, like, 4 years ago?
30.
Yeah. Okay, he's in his 30s. Ya está grandecito. To where, like, if he really wanted to be in your life, he could have made the effort and he could have really been in your life. Pero como tú, obviamente, en ese momento miraste que le siguió no valiendo. Obviamente pasa eso. You stop having communication with your dad after you know, tell him shit. Did he try reaching out multiple times or any times afterward?
Yeah, so he would, well, I had blocked him after that. Like,
okay.
He's still blocked to this day. Like, I haven't blocked, but he would message my mom and he would tell her, like, oh, like, I'm gonna go to LA, can I see the kids? And my mom's like, that's not up to me. Like, that's up to the kids. And me and my brother were like, no.
Like, ya están grandecitos so they can decide.
Yeah, we're like, honestly, like, yes, I feel bad, but at the same time, I don't, because it's like, I don't see why you want to keep making the effort anymore if I already told you. Like, I had sent him a long paragraph, and I told him, like, this is me telling you, like, I'm done. Like, I can't do this anymore. You know, I try to be a good daughter, you know, to you, but you couldn't give me that same energy back and be a good father. So I kind of just from there, I was just like, yeah, I'm done.
So do you feel like there's no, like, making up ever?
Maybe. You know, I'm open to hearing what he has to say. But knowing him, I doubt he's going to even try to apologize or anything. If anything, he'll just be like, I'm sorry that I did this to you. That's it. But he's never going to give me an explanation for anything. You know, he is the way he is. I'm just going to let him be how he is. Yeah.
And you need to see change first, you know, obviamente, because for so many years you would hear a lot of talk, but not a lot of action. Yep. So pienso que para que llegue a ese momento to where maybe you and him can have somewhat of a relationship, él tiene que cambiar the ways he thinks, the ways he needs to act, you know, like a father to you. Nos cuentas un poquito de tu papá, pero yo quiero saber un poquito más de la relación con tu mamá. Nos contaste that in the beginning or at one point, yours and your mom's relationship wasn't as close as it is now. Why was that? ¿Por qué?
Well, when I was, around the age that everything had happened with my dad, me and my mom were really that close, you know. I was young and, you know, all these young teenagers, 13, 12, whatever. We keep a lot of secrets from our parents, you know, at that time. So I was very, like, to myself with just friends. I wouldn't tell my mom anything. My mom was kind of strict on me before. But again, now opening up to my mom and, like, telling her everything, she trusts me a lot. You know, a lot of people say, oh, my God, like, she goes out a lot. But it's like, my mom trusts me. She has my location. I'm texting her all the time, like, what I'm doing. My mom and me, like, our trust is so good. She's literally like a friend, like, you know. And whenever I do something wrong, she's there to give me my discipline, and she's like, you know what, like, don't do this, don't be doing this or whatever. She's a mom. That girl, she can get me in trouble. That girl's you know, she's very nice, but when she needs to be a mom, she will be a mom. Like, she will put you on it. She'll be like, what are you doing? Don't do this, get up, you know, clean, like, all that.
Ponte las pilas, Amanda, literal. Like, which is great. Easy. Like, I feel like a lot of people might have this misconception of, like, oh, te miran en el baile, te miran acá, te miran allá, and they might think, like, oh, la mamá en dónde está. You know what I mean? But like you said, you and your mom have such great communication, which a lot of people, especially at your age, don't have. And I feel like me, obviously, I'm not a parent, I can't relate, but even seeing, you know, the relationships of my friends with their kids, or just seeing the relationship with kids with their parents, like, you really do need to make sure that your kid trusts you 100%, because when they don't, es cuando en verdad hacen cosas behind their backs y luego se van enterando, and it's like a shocker to them. Pero obviamente contigo, like, your mom trusts you 100%, that she's like, no, yo sé que mi hija es una buena hija, yo sé que está haciendo bien y no anda haciendo cosas que no debe de estar haciendo, you know?
I always wanted a close relationship with my mom when I was little, you know? I always saw like was with my cousin. My aunt had my cousin when she was 13.
Okay,
so she was
super
young.
Yeah.
So also growing up, I saw that they were super close, you know. So I wanted that, and that's why I would always try to talk to my mom. So I think like now, like if I were to give advice to girls, even like how to get close to your mom, or just be like, just trust them. Like your mom is your mom. She's gonna love you no matter what. You know, maybe not every mom, because there's some moms that are very like
old school.
Yeah, or they're just not like that loving. But I think if you trust your mom a lot and you're able to tell her stuff and you tell her stuff, she will trust you and she will be like a friend to you. That like you'll feel like you're not afraid to tell your mom anything, you know?
Has there ever been a situation where, like, obviamente you trust your mom and you try to tell her everything, but then as soon as you tell her, she might lecture you and you're like, fuck, me hubiera quedado callada, no hubiera dicho nada. Has that ever happened to you?
Yes, all the time. Like, let's say I go on a trip to AZ and I'll just be like, Mom, there was a fight. She'll be like, this is why I don't want you going nowhere. And I'm like,
and you're like, fuck, no hubiera dicho nada. Yeah, I would have too,
I was like, girl, it was not me. I'm just saying, you know?
I'm like, I'm just telling you what I saw, Mom, literally.
No, there's a lot of situations where she'll be like, this is why I don't want you out. But I'll be like, Mom, just trust me. Like, no, please. You know, yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of situations like that. But again, just communicating with my mom, she'll just be like, okay, but just be careful, you know.
Like, ten cuidado. Like, do everything that you're supposed to. Obviamente, tienes 16 años. Right now, you're in high school, right?
Yes.
How were you in middle school, elementary school? ¿Eras peleonera? Were you the shy girl? Were you the popular girl? Cuéntanos un poquito más de eso.
So, in elementary school, my brother was really known. Like, my school was small. It had like 500 kids. My older brother was a little popular kid. So I was known as Javi's little sister. Or like, I would be known as little Javi, you know? Like that.
Yeah.
So,
do you look like him?
I don't know.
You're like con una peluca, maybe? Imagine.
Like, I don't really know, to be honest. I think he looks more like my dad. I look like a lot like my mom. But yeah, so elementary school, I loved elementary. Middle school is when it was kind of like a bumpy start for me because it was like bigger school, making new friends. I always try to fit in. I think that was a problem, that I literally always tried to fit in. So even if I made myself look dumb or was trying to be loud, I just try to fit in. And it was to the point where I would be in a friend group that didn't like me. Like, but it's just, I didn't want to leave because who wants to be stuck with no friends in middle school, you know? I remember like this one time, this little group of friends had invited me to like a sleepover. I was like, yeah, sure, you know, this was my first sleepover at the time, keep in mind. So I was like, yeah, I was all excited, you know, let's go. We hung out at the park, whatever. This girl had already a friend staying over the past 2 days. So she had already a friend there. And then there was like 2 or 3 other girls there. So it was 4 girls in total sleeping over. So I had my little bag, my mochila with my stuff, my face mask. You know, we were going to do facials, whatever. And I'm sitting down on the top bunk, right, with another girl. And then it's the 3 girls at the bottom. The girl comes out of her room and she comes back in and she's like, oh, my mom said there's too many people here at the sleepover. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't say anything. I was just like, okay. Like, I was waiting for someone to be like, oh, like, I was going to go home anyways. But nobody said anything. And I was thinking, like, that the girl that had already stayed there prior to days was going to be like, oh, I'll just go home.
Like, my time's up.
She lived close by anyways, you know? So I was just sitting there. And then tell me why. The girl literally looks at me. She goes, I don't know. Like, she's like, I don't know. One of you guys has to go. And she looks at us 2 at the top. And I was just like, oh. And I just remember, like, my heart sank. I was like, fuck. And I was like, okay, it's okay. Like, I'll go home. And oh my God, I remember calling my mom and I was like, Mom, can you please come pick me up? Like, blah, 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 said that there was too many people here at the sleepover. And my mom was like, what do you mean? And she was just like, can you just pick me up? I literally told her, I was like, can you just pick me up?
Like, you didn't want to explain further.
Yeah, because I knew I was going to start crying. And yeah, I just remember like getting my stuff and I said bye to the girls and they were like, oh my God, I feel so bad. And I was like, you feel bad? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Like, you're kicking me out, bitch. Like, I feel bad.
I was like, you want me to go. But yeah, so my mom picks me up and my mom's pissed. My mom is mad. And I was like, yeah, that was my daughter. Like, I would have talked to the mom and I'd be like, what are you talking about? You
like,
know?
What's wrong?
But
like,
I had to come to find out that the mom never said that. I think they just didn't want me there.
Like mean girl attitude. Yeah.
And I was shy at the time. I was a little shy girl. I was
You never
whatever.
vocalized it to them? Like, you never were like, hey, why was it me that had to go? Nunca les dijiste algo?
No, I'm
You
not
were too shy.
Yeah, I was
You're like, I guess I'll just go.
Yeah. So my mom picked me up, and I remember like she was telling me, she's like, "Dude, that's fucked up. Like that's so rude." And I started crying. Like I'm very emotional. So I started crying, and I was like, "Mom, like just go home. Like I don't want to be here." And I remember getting home, and I couldn't sleep that night. I was just crying. I was just like, "Damn," But my pinche loca, I was like all dumb. I still was friends with them.
For a long time?
Well, after that was in 6th grade, and then 7th grade is when I went into quarantine. So quarantine is kind of when everyone kind of shut out. So that's when I stopped talking to them. I had this one best friend though that was there, and I was friends with her till my sophomore year of high school, kind of. Then we had to stop being friends. It was just miscommunications. But other than that, I don't really have many friends from school. I think I only have like 2 that I talk to currently, but that's it.
During high school, you start doing social media and you blow up. ¿Cómo te cambia, your school life once you start going to school with the following? Did that ever change the way maybe people approached you, or maybe people wanted to be your friends, maybe for the wrong reasons? Did that change?
Yeah, it did. My freshman year of high school is actually when I started my TikTok account.
Yeah.
Like I had already had Musical.ly. When I was little, I always wanted to be a little influencer, little
like Ariel,
YouTuber.
baby Ariel
vibes,
vibes, yeah.
Yes. I remember like the Bean Boozle challenge. We had an iPad.
Oh my God, yes.
And me and my brother were doing the Bean Boozle challenge. We were like, "Hi guys, welcome back to our channel."
And there's no one watching at the time.
It's literally just my mom recording us on our iPad. Aww. And we were doing the Bean Boozle challenge. Like I always wanted to be a little YouTuber, whatever. So my freshman year of high school, I didn't expect my account to start blowing up the way it did.
Yeah.
I was just kind of posting for fun. Like I was posting videos with captions, like relatable content. And people started following me, and I had a lot of followers coming in. I started blowing up a lot more though my sophomore year of high school, which is when I had hit like 100K, I think. That time I was like, I felt like I was doing like fit checks in my school. Like I was like, "Oh, what are you wearing today?" And then my junior year is when I went into school with over 1 million followers.
Oh, shit.
So it was very different.
It's a big change. From 100,000 to 1 million. That's a lot.
Yeah. And not that, because a lot of people think like, oh, she thought she was a shit. But no, it was the complete opposite. Yeah. I felt so like closed out. Like I didn't want to talk to anybody. Not like trying to be or trying to sound like, oh,
stuck
like,
up. Right?
Yeah. But it was more like, because I kept getting like dirty looks from everyone. I'm like, I don't know if that's just they're looking at me, or I don't know, but I felt so uncomfortable that I would stay in my favorite teacher's classroom for lunch and break because like I didn't even want to walk out to where we would hang out with my friends because people would just start screaming things or saying stuff.
Did any girls ever want like to fight you for no reason, just cause?
My sophomore year, yeah. But it was just because of like the friend group I was with.
Oh, okay. It wasn't like because of who you were online.
No. Yeah, I don't think that's ever been a problem. I think it was more just people knew me because of my TikTok, and I felt uncomfortable a little bit because I knew that I was being talked about. Yeah. It was pretty obvious I was being talked about because I would hear it from other people or just the stare downs. But I mean, if I was able to stay in that school, I would. I just think because I have a little bit of social anxiety. Like, if I were to be out in a whole public place, I'm literally going to be like this.
That's how I am. Even till this day, that's how I am. I feel like if anything, social anxiety, as you do social media, just gets worse and worse as it goes.
I would get a lot of like threats, like, "Oh, we're going to go to your school and jump you." And I was like, okay.
And you're like, "Aquí te espero."
Yeah, I'm going to be at the front of the school.
Literally, you know what's so crazy that you mentioned that people would talk shit, or people that you didn't even knew that went to your school would say that you were stuck up or sabe que tanto. That kind of happened to me a lot my senior year. So I started doing social media. Ya tengo 26 años. Tengo 10 años más que tú. Oh my God, you guys, I'm fucking old. But during the time when I first started social media, I think I started socials maybe like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Obviamente, when I was in high school, I didn't have the following that I have now, or nowhere near close. I think in high school, my senior year, I ended it with like 100,000 followers. But at the time, 10 years ago, that was a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yo me acuerdo que I didn't know anyone my senior year because I had moved from one city to another. So I literally started at the high school that I graduated from my senior year. That's where I met my best friend, and that's where I met Danny, my boyfriend. So when I went to that school, obviamente yo no conocía a nadie. So I would literally only talk to people that would talk to me. You know what I mean? Like,
that's exactly
I obviously
how it was.
did make friends that senior year. I did have like a lot of people that I would talk to in class or that I would walk to. Pero lo que pasaba, since I didn't know a lot of people, after class, I would literally grab my little mochilita because I had like a little bolsa, and I would walk fast, determined to my next class, bitch. Like, you know how like in like during passing periods, a lot of like friend groups, like es donde se juntan and just kind of catch up for like those 2 minutes. No, bitch. Like whenever the fucking bell would ring, rápido agarraba mi pinche mochila and I would go straight to the class. Yo como si nada, right? Like I didn't think much of it because I was like, I don't know anyone, like no one's talking to me, let me just go to fucking class. So I remember during that time, había como una aplicación, I don't know if maybe you ever had that in your school, where it was kind of like Ask FM. I don't know if you remember that. Ask FM. It's like where you're able to like say stuff anonymously.
Oh, yeah.
Well, había una aplicación, no me acuerdo bien exactamente cómo se llamaba la aplicación, but basically it was an app where a lot of like people were like posting things about other kids of the school anonymously.
Yeah.
So you would get a lot of like the shit talkers, a lot of like, if there was like a little girl that everyone thought she was a hoe, they would expose her on there, whatever, right? Una vez me pusieron a mí ahí. Y yo, oh my God, like pensé que nadie me conocía. I was literally like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I literally mind my business. I don't talk to anyone other than like the people I know. And a lot of people the person that posted it said, I think it was like a picture of me walking to class like by myself. And I did look stuck up, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. But it was because I'm literally like, what the fuck do you want me to do? Like fucking be like walking down the fucking, you know, to my class todo contento. No, like I'm like, like walking, you know, concentrado en lo que estoy haciendo. And everyone was like, oh, he's stuck up, he's stuck up, he's stuck up. And I'm like, bitch, none of y'all have even talked to me. Yeah. Like it starts to become a thing where like, you're like, okay, like I'm stuck up if I don't talk to you, but there's other people that don't have a following around you that don't even talk to you and they're not stuck up.
I always try to keep it cool with everyone no matter what. I never wanted to make it seem like I let that get to me because I never did. I kind of just saw it as like, that's my side thing, you know, like that's something else. But I didn't want people to see me just like that. That was the one main thing.
Like you don't want people to be like, oh, mira, ya va Amanda, la que tiene 1 millón de seguidores. Like there's more to you than the following.
And a lot of people say like, again, like she's stuck up, she thinks she's all that. But it's like, just have a conversation with me. I promise you, like I'm so genuine, like I swear. But, you know, again, going into a public school with that amount of following, I think a lot of people see you as like, I don't know, someone that they don't like just because of that, you know? And that was a main problem, that a lot of girls or people didn't really like me. And I was just like, but you don't even know me. Like, and that hurts so much because ever since I was little, I've always loved having a lot of friends. Like, that's just me. I love being friends with everyone, you know? But if I see you, like, because there's been times where these girls that I was friends with would talk shit about me behind my back.
Oh, shit.
Like, it was literally to the point where when I left the school, the girls that I would still talk to would tell me, oh, this girl was talking shit about you. And I was just like, damn, like
I thought we were cool.
Yeah, what did I do to you, you know? And sometimes it's some of the girls that I would unfollow too, because I went on an unfollowing spree. Sometimes, I don't know if it's just me, but in the middle of the night, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to unfollow her a lot of people.
That's how it be. Even to this day, I used to do that shit in high school all the time because I'm like, you don't like my shit. You never message me. Like, why the fuck are you even following me? So I would unfollow them too, Yeah,
so there was a point where I had unfollowed mostly everyone from my school when I had switched, like a month after I switched online. None of these people that were my friends had reached out, right? And even though I would try to reach out or something. And I was just like, okay, well, you know, I will unfollow you and remove you, but I don't think like you should think that there's something wrong with that or like there's any beef. I don't think that.
I don't think so either. It's like, okay, I feel like, you know what it is? I feel like people get so caught up on she unfollowed me. We have beef. And it's like, no, babe, I just unfollowed you. You're boring. Literally.
Like,
that's how I see it, though. It's like, no, there's no beef.
No, I just don't see a point in following someone that I don't interact with anymore.
Exactly, yeah.
And as soon as I unfollowed these people, one of my friends was like, oh, this girl's talking shit about you. And still to this day, literally tell me why they're still talking about me in this school.
No lo puede superar la amiga.
No, I was just like, bruh, like, just leave me alone. Like, let me be, you know? And I was like, there's no beef between us. Like, I just didn't want to interact with you anymore, you know? There was no point in us interacting anymore. It was not like you were going to reach out and be like, hey, let's hang out. Like, that was never going to happen, you know?
Teniendo tantos seguidores, being so young and still going to school, it kind of took away that, like, normal high school experience from you.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about, like, what your high school experience could have been if you didn't have the following you had? And if you do, like, does it ever get you like, fuck, like, I wish I could have maybe become more poppin' after high school or, like, any of that?
All the time. But I don't regret doing social media at all. I'm telling you, I've always wanted to do it. And now that I'm able to do it, I love it so much. But yeah, I always think like, damn, like this would have been different. I still would have been in school.
Like
I
prom,
still would have been,
homecoming.
Honestly, I think that I would have probably ran for prom queen.
I can see you running for prom queen and winning.
Yeah,
literally.
like I remember my group of girls that I had in my junior, when I was the first month that I was in public school. They were like, you should vote. I mean, you should go for homecoming queen or prom queen or whatever. And I was like, I would do it, you know, like I'm down. But I think like people would be like, oh, she thinks she's gonna win because of
she
this.
Has followed. Empiezan a hablar and it's like, no, bitch, I'm just trying to live a normal life and run for fucking homecoming princess or
like,
whatever.
I want to be like my mom because she told me that she had one homecoming queen one time. So I was like, I want to do that. Like, I want to do that. But I was so nervous. I was too shy, I think. I was just like, oh no, I don't want to. Never mind.
Because then you know people will talk shit like, but I feel like, you know, obviously at the time maybe you didn't go for it, but now that maybe you've been on social media and maybe you've experienced more and you know that people talk shit regardless, maybe you would have still been down to go for it, you know, back then.
Probably,
you know?
yeah. I think a lot of people are gonna be like, who cares? You should have just done it. But I don't know, me, I have a different mindset from you guys. Maybe you guys would have done it. But me, I'm a little shy, so I'm just gonna stay back here.
Nos platicas un poquito de que you started doing online school. What made you start doing online school? Was there like something that happened or you just wanted to focus more on your socials? ¿Qué es lo que pasó y por qué decidiste tú empezar doing online classes?
Again, for my junior year, I did public school, in-person school for about a month. Then I switched to online a month after because, again, I was getting a lot of stares. And who wants to go to a school where you're just getting stared at all the time? And
feeling uncomfortable,
Yeah, and so I would just go straight to my classes and I would sit in class. And I would even be shy to, like, raise my hand and say something out loud. Like, I've always liked that, you know? But I felt even more shy. Yeah. And there was this account that someone made on TikTok. And it was like, oh, Amanda goes to my school. And it's a pictures of me walking to my classes.
Like stalker vibes?
Yes. I was like, what the fuck?
And you didn't even know the person that took it?
No, it was some random person. And they were literally talking shit in the caption. And I was like, okay, so this person obviously
knows me and
hates me for some reason. And I was just like, okay. And I felt a little like uncomfortable, you know. I was like, I don't want to walk to my classes thinking someone's gonna take a picture of me. Like, that's so weird.
Or do something to me. If they're already hating on you so bad, uno nunca sabe hasta dónde puede llegar alguien.
Sí. Yeah. Even like out of school, because a lot of people would post like my school publicly. They'll be like, oh, Amanda goes to this school, Amanda goes to this school, you know. And I didn't want to walk out of school every day feeling like I have to look everywhere, you know? I wanted to just hang out with friends. And then my mom being my mom, she's very overprotective when it comes to that. So she was like, I'm going to switch you online. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine because I wanted to anyways. I gave myself a month. I literally said, I'm giving myself a month in the school. And if I don't like it, I'm going to switch online. And that's exactly what I did. And I think it was more also like helping myself because I'm kind of lazy too, so I didn't want to wake up that early in the morning.
So you're like, bitch, I want to wake up at whatever time to do my work. How is that though? Because now, you know, now that you do online school, it all kind of depends on you. Like obviously how much work you put in, and you kind of are your own boss in the sense of like, if you want to do your homework, you'll do it. If not, you don't. Is it harder for you, you know, obviously not having like a teacher to be on your ass? Yeah,
it definitely is. I think I've went back a little on like, and I'm just like, damn, I need to pick it up. I need to get my work done. You know, classes start at 8:30. We do Zoom classes, and it ends at 12. So it's 4 hours, and then it's 3 different classes a day.
From 8 to 12, though. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it's kind of like picking your own schedule. You know, you get to choose what time you want to do the work and whatever. But it is a lot harder because I get lazy. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to do the work. But then I'm like remembering, no, I have to graduate.
Yeah.
Like, I have to. I'm not going to just stop school because of social media. I can't do that, you know?
Have you been scared to not graduate?
Yes.
Is that like something that's going on maybe where they're like, te estás retrasando, amiga, ponte las pilas y no te vas a graduar?
Literally tell myself, ponte las pilas, Amanda. Like,
when are you scheduled to graduate? Do you have like a graduation year?
I'm still in my junior year right now.
Okay,
yeah,
so next
I
year.
have one more year, yes.
That's crazy. That's exciting. You know, obviamente tienes 16 años. El año pasado cumpliste 15. ¿Tuviste quinceañera?
No.
Why?
Oh my God. Because, I mean, who doesn't want a quince? You know, who doesn't want a 16?
Yeah.
But growing up, again, it was just my mom, so she was struggling.
Okay.
So we weren't able to have like a big quince party or a big sweet 16. So, yeah, I didn't mind, you know.
Was that a combo you had with your mom at the time, or was it just kind of like you knew what was going on at home that you didn't even dare to ask?
It was kind of like a conversation. She was like, "Oh, what if we do it? Like, we have to start now and saving up now because, or else, like, you know, we're not gonna have the money for it."
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, maybe we don't have to have it, you know, like maybe just a small party with friends, you know, with family. It's okay. So I did have a small 16 party with friends.
Like a comidita vibes?
Yeah, because I think in my opinion, I think a small party with like genuine people, my genuine people at the time, was better than like a big quince with all these tias that fucking talk shit, and later they're gonna be chismeando about what happened at the party. And yeah, so I think having a small party with people and understanding that my mom wasn't able to give me that, I think it was better in my opinion.
And I feel like también llegas un momento, mira, como yo, I've thrown big ass fucking parties before. I'm talking about, me acuerdo que un año I threw like a huge Halloween party. El año pasado, me and my boyfriend threw our 25th birthday party. The amount of money, you guys, que se gasta en estas fiestas is ridiculous. Last year, si me acuerdo bien, I spent over $20,000 over one night. En una fiesta, amigas. Y se los cuento aquí. I've never really have shared like the amount of money que se gasta. And si me acuerdo bien, you guys, I literally only was at my party for like 3-4 hours. Porque llegué tarde, llegué como de eso de las 10 de la noche. La fiesta se acabó como de eso de las 2, 1, pienso, no me acuerdo bien. But then when you really think about it and you really do like sit down and be like, damn, everyone enjoyed. Pero el que quedó con el hueco in the bank account was me. You know what I mean? Like, it really is like, when you think back and you're like, damn, like 15s, boda, se gasta mucho dinero, that like at the time, maybe it wasn't what was right for your mom. It's nice that you understood it. Obviamente, looking back, you know, do you wish you could have had it?
Yeah, 100%. I wish I would have had like a big quince with like the big poofy dresses, you know, because I recently went with a couple supporters. Well, they're my friends now. They're like my favorite twins. They went to go pick out their quince dresses. Okay. And I was like looking at them and I was like, damn, like
that could be
me. I was like, can I try on a dress? Like,
you're like, just for the fantasy, nomás para sentirme como que lo estoy haciendo.
And like we went to Moda 2000, right?
Okay, yeah. In Anaheim?
Yeah. And what's it called? One of the guy on the microphone was like, oh, this person said yes to the dress. Like, everyone clapped. And I was just like, woo.
Was it you or no? It wasn't you. What color would you have picked though?
Right now, I would have picked like a pink, like a baby
like a light baby
pink, or
pink.
like a
blush
pastel,
pink.
Like a pastel pink. Like kind of like this color right here. Like
okay, yeah,
that.
Very like. Well, yeah, like a blush pink, very like muted pink.
Yeah.
Kind of almost like white vibes.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Something like that, like a champagne toast pink.
How many chambelanes do you think you would have had? Porque yo he visto que hay gente que nomás 1, 4, hasta 11, 16. How many do you think you would have liked to have?
Probably like 5.
Okay, that's a good one.
5.
Because I feel like 1 tu chambelán de honor y los 4 in the back, right? Mm-hmm. Like you know what's crazy though? Like now that I think about it, like I had a quinceañera. It wasn't, well, no, it was like a good quinceañera because I remember me too, like, yo era bien berrinchudo growing up, right?
Yeah.
Like, I was very much, I was out of the closet. No, I wasn't out of the closet. I'm lying. But I was always very like, no, yo quiero algo bonito, quiero algo bonito.
Yeah.
And I remember that when my mom started planning the quinceañera, it started off as a comida. Like, literally, it was only going to be a comida to celebrate my 15 años. And then I remember one time my mom was like, no, no, ya le dije a todas de mi trabajo, dijeron que sí, que la madrina para esto, la madrina para esto otro. And I don't know why, looking back now, I'm like, fuck, like I really was a fucking brat. Like I literally like didn't really see todo el esfuerzo that goes into, you know, your parents throwing, you know, a big party. And I remember I would tell my mom, like, si no vamos a tener DJ, pues no quiero la fiesta. Vele diciendo a tus amigas que no se va a hacer. Like, but because I knew my mom wasn't gonna, like, tell her friends. Ya les dijo, ya las alborotó. And I remember there was even, like, little talks like, oh, first it was like a grabadora. And I upgraded it to a DJ. Then it was like, oh, the mesas. We were just gonna get, like, manteles normales. Obviously now, like the manteles de tela are like so normal. Yeah. But back then, bitch, it was a bug, you know, like they were expensive. So me acuerdo que yo todo quería, like if my mom would be like, oh, we'd have like plastic manteles, yo decía, no, yo quiero de mantel. Like, which is crazy because, you think back and at the time, even though, well, my parents, like at the time, I mean, they've always struggled, but I think at the time they weren't like where they were struggling the most. But now that I think about it, even though they weren't struggling, they weren't rich either. You know what I mean? And I feel like now that I look back at it, like, sí me siento mal because even though I was 15 and I could have been more mature like you are, yo no sabía cómo entender. I didn't know how to be like, oh shit, my parents can't do it. And it is what it is. And I feel like you have that sense of maturity to where you're like, lo quiero, I wish I could have had it, pero no se puede.
My mom was very open about, like, struggling, especially because she wasn't only mom, and she was like, you guys need to understand, like, I'm struggling sometimes, you know? And I feel like that's why at such a young age, I've always tried to work so hard. Like, if I wasn't doing social media, honestly, I would have have a job. I would have been trying to help my mom because I hate seeing her like that. Like, you know, again, she still always gave us everything we wanted and everything we needed. But being able to help her, like, more and doing something that I love, you know, I think that's giving me like such a good opportunity and like such, I don't know, I feel
it must
so,
feel
like,
good. And also being so young and being able to know that you can help out like in that way, se ha de sentir bonito. A los 14 años, you know, empiezas a hacer social media. You were a freshman in high school. ¿Cómo empezó todo eso, amiga? I want to know, ¿cómo dijiste tú? ¿Sabes qué? Chingue su madre. I'm going to record myself and post it and let it be what it fucking got. ¿Cómo pasó todo eso?
Well, I mean, again, going back to like when I was little, I always wanted to be on social media. When I was doing Musically, I think I had like 600 followers on Musically. And I thought that was famous. Shit. In Musically, that was actually like you had a good amount of following. And when Musically turned into TikTok, I wasn't really on TikTok for like almost a year because I didn't like the app at first, you know. Then I got onto TikTok, and about a year and a half after having my new TikTok account, because my Musically account got taken down.
Oh shit! Why? Just cause?
Yeah, I think when Musically turned into TikTok, it took down a lot of people's accounts. But yeah, so when I had my new TikTok account, it actually got banned, and I had just hit 1,000 followers.
And you're like, my life! Oh my God,
and I was like, my account, like, I remember just crying.
You're like, my life's over.
I think that was like a sign from God saying that needed to happen in order for your new account to get to where it's at now. Yeah. Because I remember making my new account and I had got like 20 followers in like a week. And I was like, no, like what's going on?
I'm never going to hit 1,000.
Yeah. And I just started posting, and within like a month, I got like to 2,000 followers.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and it was just like posting videos, and they ended up going viral. There was one video, I remember my first video ever going viral.
What was it?
It was just a video of like me recording myself, and it had got 8,000 likes, right? And I had like 300 followers at the time. And I remember my followers were going up hasta 1,000 and then 2,000 followers. And then from there, I was like, maybe like, let me keep posting, you know? So I kept posting, and the more I posted, the more followers started coming in and people started following me and, you know, recognizing me or whatever. I felt comfortable that I just started posting like 5 or 6 TikToks every day. Yeah.
Oh shit, you're being consistent.
I was being very consistent. I was on it. I was posting relatable content, and I mean, it started really blowing up on me. Like, people started following me, and I started hitting 10,000 and 20,000. And it was to a point where I was even gaining like 10,000 followers a day.
A day. That's crazy. How did you feel in those moments? Obviamente, it took you so long to hit that 1,000, and then you have in one day gaining 10. How was that?
Oh my God, I was so shocked. I was like, no way.
Like, there's no way that many people like me.
I was like, are these all robots? Like, who's buying my followers right now?
Literally.
No, I was so like shocked, and I was like, I remember telling my mom, and I was like, Mom, like I literally just hit 50K. Like I'm about to hit 60. And I remember we were at the bank, and I was checking my followers, and I had hit 100K. And we were sitting outside of the bank, and I was telling my mom, wait in the car until I hit 100K. And I just started screaming. I was like, oh my God. Like, I rolled the window down. I was like,
you're like, I hit 100K. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then
how long after doing your new account? Did it take like a while, or was it like short?
Like 2 months. 2 months after making my new account is when I started hitting.
So for sure you had to get your other account banned for this to happen.
Like 2 months after getting my other account banned, I started gaining like followers, and that's when I had 2,000 to where I hit my 100,000. I think that was almost a year of having the account. I think
that's still good though.
Yeah, but during that time I was posting a lot of like makeup tutorials, relatable content. I was going live all the time,
and it was helping you grow.
Yeah, it was helping me grow a lot, and that's kind of still what I do now. Obviously my account's being taken down right now. It's kind of hard.
It is? Wait, why? What happened? ¿Qué pasó? Wait, your TikTok account got taken down?
Both of mine. Yeah, so right now I have no TikTok account. I mean, I have one that I'm using that's just like a burner, but I'm working on getting them back. It's weird because after like this whole incident that happened, my account has just been getting taken down like every month.
Oh shit.
Like no one's letting me have it.
Oh, I didn't know that your TikTok accounts had gotten fucking banned.
Yeah.
How does that, like, obviously I've gotten my accounts banned before, and it's scary because you're like, bitch, I worked so hard to fucking get that following up. How does that make you feel? Obviamente, like, you fucking find out your fucking account is banned. Like, do you panic? Did you panic? ¿Qué pasó ahí?
The first time it happened, I panicked so much. I'm like, bro, like, this is literally like, I was about to say this is my life. I don't want to sound like that either.
But it's your job.
Not only that, but this is what I love doing. Like, I worked so hard for this. I've been working on this account for over 2 years. Like, I just didn't want it to be gone just like that. And then I ended up getting it back up, but then it got taken down again. And then I got it back up, and now it's back down again. So it's like, I don't know if it's people spam reporting my account. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's hard because I can't create content. Like, and if I do, it's like I have to wait to get the account back. And then it's hard because it's like I can't keep doing what I love doing. I can't think like, oh, I'm gonna record this, but what am I gonna post it on?
Like, who's gonna fucking watch it? Yeah, if I got no account, literally.
Yeah, and it's so crazy. Hard. Yeah,
I didn't know that was happening for you because obviamente ahorita vamos a platicar un poquito más de eso. But you've been living in my For You page. Like, I've been seeing so many fucking videos of you that I would have never thought like that your account was banned. That's fucking crazy. I know you said you didn't want to say it's your life, but it kind of is.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's what's gotten me to what I am today. Like, I'm not scared to admit that. I'm not scared to admit, like, what I have now is because of social media. Because honestly, it is. And I thank God every day. I thank God that he has given me so many opportunities for this, that he has given me the strength to, you know, keep going through all this. And honestly, like, again, I will never admit like social media did not make me. Social media most definitely made me, and it made everyone.
Me here too, you guys. Mira, igual como ella dice, ella tenía un poquito de miedo de decir que su vida no. Yo lo digo honestamente, sí lo es. I'm not saying que si el día de mañana me quitan todas las redes, no estoy diciendo que me voy a morir o no voy a saber qué hacer. No, chinga su madre. Igual como otra persona, si me quitan las redes, me pongo a trabajar. I'll figure out a way. But in this moment, the way I make my money, the way I survive is social media. And a lot of the time, you guys, I put my life out there on social media. You know what I mean? So it is technically part of my life. Yeah. Just because social media might not be a big part of your life doesn't mean it's not a big part of ours. So obviamente cuando nos pasa algo así, donde nos borran las cuentas, donde algo está pasando, obviamente it does get a little scary, especially if you depend on social media to make a living. Y pues in your case, you were depending on helping your mom, on helping yourself. Obviamente empiezas a hacer las redes, you start gaining a lot of followers. Was there ever anyone in your life that was like, ay, Amanda, ponte a hacer otras cosas. This is not going to get you anywhere. You're not going to get anywhere in life doing social media. Did you have anyone in your life that doubted you, friends, family, that made you kind of question like, fuck, maybe I shouldn't be doing this?
Yeah, I think at first, when I first started, when I first had like, 10,000 followers, whatever, and I was over here, I'm like, before I was thinking I was more the shit before than I am now, but I think before I was just like, bro, I'm getting so big. Like, a lot of my family members would make fun of me. Like, they would make fun of my TikToks. They'll be like, Amanda's always doing this in her TikToks. And I'll just be like, okay.
Ya quisieran ustedes.
Yeah,
También, yeah.
like, you wish you can do it like me.
Literally, though, it is like that because usually the people that make fun of you back then are the people now like, ¿y cómo le haces, mija?
Yes, because tell me why. It was my guy cousins. I have a lot of guy cousins.
Yeah.
Some of my guy cousins would make fun of me for it, and especially my older brother. And now they do TikToks. I'm
and
like,
now you want a piece of that cake. Literally, dude, you're like,
now
no.
you want to be me.
It literally is like that. I feel like, and that's what I say about social media a lot of the time. You'll have a lot of like undercover jealousy because a lot, especially when you start, I feel like people think, I don't know what it is. I feel like maybe, when you first start, como que la gente no mira tu potencial, como que la gente no cree en ti, or maybe they do believe in you, or maybe they do think you can make it big, but they kind of are jealous if you were to make it big, and they're like, no, que bajarla, que bajarla. But it is crazy that when you make it, a lot of the people that would talk shit before are the people that are like, ¿y cómo se hace? Yo
now they're asking for tips.
Hacer.
Yeah, they're like,
or let's do a collab. Literally, that's crazy.
They'll
it happens
ask
a lot.
like for tips and all. They'll be like, how do you do this? Or how do you record a video? How do you edit this? And I'm not going to be like how you were before. Like, no, I'm not going to help you. I'm like, of course, let me help you. Like, I'm going to make you into me. Like, let's go,
Does it make you feel some type of like, no que no?
Yeah. Like, I'm just be like, no que you thought you were making fun of me. No que you didn't want to do it.
What was your aha moment where you're like, you know what? Like, I'm making money. I can make this shit my full-time job. Was there ever like a moment, a paycheck, or maybe like a collab, a sponsorship where you received a good amount of money where you're like, oh shit, like this is serious money?
Yeah. So obviously with lives, of course, lives do help a lot. And then also creating minute videos. Like if you're a small creator and you're trying to get bigger and you want to make money and you don't think like you can do it with the amount of following you have, get the creativity better. Get on it. Sign up to it. Make your minute videos. Do your get ready with me. Do your go on a date, like on a run with me. Something small. As long as it's a minute, you can make money off of it. Depending on your views, as long as the video does good or whatever. Like you can make money off of that. And I remember when I first started and I started uploading minute videos, my first big paycheck for me off of just that was $2,500.
Oh shit! In one video?
In one
that's
video.
Good.
Yeah, and for me, like that was big, like and I had gotten paid, I think, like almost $4,000 for the entire month, right? And that was also. And then also with like lives and other promotions and everything. Like I had made a good amount of money in 1 month that like I ended up remodeling my entire room with that. Like I got a new vanity, I got a new TV, and
you're like, hoy estreno.
Yeah, I was like, if I'm able to make this money, I can kind of remodel everything for myself. Like I can do this myself. Yeah. So when I started doing that, and I started making more money, and being able to do something that you love and making money off of it helps a lot. So it's like that's why every time someone wants to make videos, I'm like, yes, let me help you. Like with my friends, they're like, I want to make videos. And I'm like, sign up to Creativity Better right now. Like, trust me, you're gonna make money and you're gonna want to keep doing it.
Did you hear that the program, it used to be a beta program, it just turned into like not a beta anymore?
Really?
Yesterday, el 18 de marzo, lo convirtieron in just the creativity program, which now it even has better benefits for creators en donde pueden ganar hasta más dinero. And it really is good. Like that. Like, you give great advice to the people that want to, start doing social media. Como yo te estaba contando, I've been doing this shit for almost 10 years, right? Back in the day, the way you were able to make money was if you had a really successful YouTube channel. The Instagram, you were making money, but only on sponsorships. Like Instagram doesn't pay you to post or for your views. It did at one point, but then they stopped. Pero, igual como tú dices, I always say it nowadays. I feel like TikTok made it so easy to where like you, your mom, and even your fucking dog, bitch, if you want, can monetize. It is really like that. Like, es nomás de que te pongas las pilas and don't give a fuck what anyone's got to say and just content create. Yeah. Because it really is that easy.
Yeah, and it's hard, or it kind of sucks to see people be like, all she does is make money off social media. She doesn't do anything. She's lazy. And it's like, okay, but it's also a big accomplishment of being able to to be this big and make money, you know, at such a young age. I mean, I can, if I wanted to, I can get a job, but I don't really need to, you know, if I'm comfortable where I'm at. And again, I'm not like super old where I have to, you know, pay all these bills. Like if
you're still young.
Yeah, like I help my mom with bills.
Like you don't even gotta work if you don't want to in general. You don't need to. You're 16. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, even at that, I've always wanted to get a job to help my mom. But it's like if I'm making good money right now to help my mom and I don't need to get a job, I don't have to, you know? Like I think that's another thing people don't understand. It's like, yes, I'm making money on social media. Yes, it may look like I'm lazy, but honestly, I wouldn't say it's a lot of work. I think it's pretty easy sometimes. Yeah. But I think the one thing that's hard is dealing with the hate.
Yes.
And that's one thing that is like, people say, it's social media, that's what comes with it, you have to deal with it. But I hate that it's so normalized. Yeah. I hate that hate is so normalized that it's like, oh, you do social media, well, you're gonna get hate, you have to deal with it. But it's like, why can't people just spread positivity nowadays? Like,
exactly.
What is wrong with that?
I feel like, you know what it is? You literally said it perfectly. I feel like hate nowadays is so normalized. It's almost like, oh, pues eso es lo que querían, no, pues a eso se metieron, por eso ganan tanto dinero. And it's like, no way. No one wants to fucking upload a video and see their fucking comments flooded with hate. ¿Cómo le haces tú? Obviamente te hemos visto in a lot of big scandals donde tú sales receiving a lot of hate. Has it ever affected you?
My first like big scandal was last year, like during August. I don't really remember exactly what time. Obviously a lot of people know about this, but it was just, I was getting a lot of hate, obviously not compared to what other people were getting, but it was my first time getting hate. And yes, it got to me. Like, of course it's gonna get to you. Hate is gonna get to you no matter what. But I think now, and obviously the most recent incident that people know about, the hate doesn't really get to me anymore, honestly. I can care less about the hate. I think it's more the image that is being put about me out there that is not true. That, you know, someone thought it was okay to go on live and spread lies about me. You know, because one of my old friends decided to say something or to lie, basically, right? And I found that so like, damn, what did I do, you know? And no matter how much I try to clear my name, people are not going to listen to me. People are not going to listen to you. If you're trying to clear your name and you look like you're in the wrong, people are not going to listen to you because they just want to see drama, you know? And I hated entertaining the drama, but it's like, I'm here to clear my name. And if you're not going to believe me, well, then that's on you, you know? But I'm not going to sit here and allow people to lie on my name and make myself look someone that I look like someone I'm not. And, you know, again, the hate, I could care less about that now.
It is hard though, you know what I mean? Because like you said, it really does suck when you know the type of person you are, when you know your values, when you know who you are as a person, and then online people have this other idea or this other like misconception about you. And it does suck, you know what I mean? Yo también ha habido muchas veces donde me han metido en polémicas or where I've gotten quote unquote canceled, and people like to just grab onto that little situation and be like, oh, he's a horrible person, or he should not have the platform, or he's this or he's that. And it's like, no, like todos we all fuck up. And like you said, even if you explain yourself, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, no, ¿por qué? Porque les conviene seguir creyendo en la mentira que creer en la verdad. Nos dices que ya no te afecta. What do you feel like is different now that, or what are you doing different that is helping you not care too much about, you know, the hate?
Yeah, so obviously a lot of videos are made about me. A lot of stuff is clipped. A lot of stuff is taken out of context, and these CHISME pages put like this random caption that makes the situation just 10 times worse. Or they see a clip and they add like this crazy caption that makes the clip seem something that it's completely not, you know? And I think what I learned to do was not pay attention to it. Stop commenting on the videos. Stop trying to clear your name. Let it clear on its own. Like people know you. They will know that that's not really you. I stopped interacting with videos that have to do with me. Obviously, I see all these stupid videos on my For You page about me and talking about me, but I don't go in the comments and anything. I hold it and I press not interested. And that makes literally all the drama, like even any other person's drama, doesn't come up on my For You page anymore. Like, and that's helped me a lot. I think that's really like helped my mental health. I think that if I were to really engage into the hate, and it was going to be all over my For You page, it would have really got to me. Because I think that's why the first time it got to me, because I was engaging in the hate a lot in all the videos and commenting on everything, that every single video on my For You page was about me.
Yeah.
And obviously that got to me, you know?
Especially when you like see a video and then you look at the comments, and TikTok comments to me are the most ruthless comment section when it comes to social media. It's like, ahí te atacan hasta lo que no, empiezan a decir hasta lo que no.
TikTok and Instagram are two of the worst comment sections you can go through.
Yeah, literally.
Obviously, I want to go on social media. I want to go on TikTok and express how I feel and, you know, talk about what I want to talk about. But it's hard knowing that people are going to take what I say out of context, you know?
Having gone through so much, you know, dramas, scandals, things that a lot of girls that are your age maybe might not be strong enough to overcome, porque las cosas que te dicen, the comments that they leave you, they're very intense comments. You know, the hate sometimes can get super intense. ¿Cómo le haces tú para seguir como motivada? How do you keep yourself motivated to continue, you know, creating content? Because I'm sure at one point or maybe another, you're like, ya no quiero hacer esto. Did that ever happen?
Yeah, that definitely happened when, obviously, the beginning of this year. I was literally like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm so tired of my name being dragged so many times that, like, at this point, I can't, there's nothing I can do, you know? People are going to believe what they hear. And it's like one against so many people. Yeah. And it's like, it's hard to even defend myself at this point because nobody's going to listen to you. So, yeah, I guess just focusing on like me and my content only and not the hate comments, because obviously the main word right now is bop. Yeah, like that's the main word right now. I can be scrolling through my TikTok and this beautiful girl will be on my video, like on my For You page, and I go to the comments and they're like certified bop, queen bop, and it's like, what is wrong with everyone? Like,
how do you feel when you get comments like that?
I'm used to it, honestly. I understand the situation that I've been in, that people see me as this person, you know? So I understand the bop comments, but it's like, you have to understand that your comments could get to people. Maybe it might not be me anymore. Sorry, you can continue commenting, but not me. But other people, you guys have to understand that people can literally be at their breaking point, and your comment can really get to someone, and it can like hurt them so bad, and you guys won't even know it because you guys are entitled to yourself, and you guys are selfish, that you guys think it's okay to comment someone negative and nasty to someone who's really going through something and you guys don't even know.
I think also too, you know, what I see a lot with you, and I'll see a lot of the comments, a lot of the time, the people that are commenting the bop or that are commenting so much negativity, I click on their profiles and a lot of these people are adults. You know, we're talking about 30, 40, 50-year-old women, you know, talking down on a 16-year-old girl. You know, how have you been able, you know, being so young, but also trying to be as mature as possible? How do you feel like you've navigated the not letting these very strong, you know, hateful comments that come from very, you know, adult people bug you? Is it hard for you?
It is hard.
Because it's easy to understand, like, oh, it's a kid talking shit. But when you see adults talking shit, does that get to you more?
Yeah, when I see little kids, you know, I look at their profile and they look 12, 13, 10. I'm just like, I understand you're young. You're not gonna, you're gonna go with what everyone's going with. You're gonna follow the trend. But when I see like literal moms and adults talking down on a teen, it's like, what are you doing, you know? And I think to myself, I'm not going to let that get to me, because at the end of the day, I think I'm doing more than that adult. Yeah. Like, if I'm able to spread positivity and I'm a teenager, why can't you do that? You're an adult. Like, your brain should be fully developed in order, like, how do you think that's okay to spread negativity to a teenager? Like, someone younger than you who's most likely doing more than you, you know? And it's not only to me, but I see it in other people as well. Like, it could be other creators, other moms, like people bashing moms for not doing their mom job correctly. And it's like, you don't know how they are. Like, you don't know how they are. You
literally are judging off a 1 minute, 10-second video. And it's like, babe, there's 24 hours in a day, 365 days a year. Sepa la verga cuántas horas en ese año. But you guys literally want to get that 115 seconds. te conozco, sé todo de ti, and it's like, no, you know. Me estabas contando una historia earlier about an Uber, which I feel like no quería que se te olvidara. Cuéntanos un poquito más de eso, because you were telling me about it and I was like, save it for the podcast. Y no quiero que se te vaya eso de la mente. Cuéntanos qué pasó.
Yes, I think this moment is gonna be so pure to me because of what this lady was telling me, right? So I was on my way to the gym and I took an Uber to the gym. And the Uber driver was like, oh, like, where are you going? And I was like, oh, I'm going to the gym. And she's like, how do you get motivation for that? And I was like, honestly, like, I kind of just, like, put myself to it. Obviously, insecurities as well. Yeah. You know, I'm very skinny. I have skinny legs. I've always had skinny legs. And I just wanted to get some stuff off my mind. I've been going for about like 4 months now. Okay. 4 or 5 months. But I've been starting to go like almost every day.
Every day. Like dedicated.
Since this year, when everything went down. Because I wanted to really get my mind off things. And I was telling her, I was like, I opened my heart out to this girl. I'm like, I don't even know this girl. This is a complete stranger. But the way she was kind of like asking me for help in a way. Because I don't know what it was. But it was like Diosito like telling me, like, give this girl
some words of wisdom.
Yeah. Because something in my heart, she told me, like, how do I get the motivation for that? How do you put your mind to it? Like, all that. And I told her, that's when I opened up to her. I was like, honestly, I do social media, right? And all this, like, problems and everything kind of put me in a situation where, like, I want to get my mind off things. And a lot of people who go to the gym and I would be friends with them, they'll tell me, like, go to the gym. Like, it really helps not only with, like, yourself, but, like, working on your body.
It's like a distressor. Yeah.
So I was like, okay, like, I'm going to try it. So I started going every day, and I was telling the lady, I was like, just trust me. Like, you go one day and you'll see that you'll feel good right after. Yeah. Like, and once you start seeing progress is what's going to make you want to keep going and get more progress. Because, like, I told her, I was like, honestly, at first, like, I didn't really feel like going, right? But as soon as I started seeing even a little bit of progress, I was like, damn, like, this is good, and like, it helps me. I like this shit. Yeah, like, I get my mind off of things, and it's benefiting me. Yeah. I think not only that, but it's also, like, working on myself. And a lot of people, I told her, I was like, a lot of people may judge you, you know, whatever. But I was like, don't even think about that. Literally do you, whatever. And then she started talking to me about my social media and about how to do it. And I was like, honestly, just put your mind to it. Yeah. Literally do what you want to do. Post what you want to post. Fuck the hate. Like, I'm like, fuck the hate. Because, you know, at the end of the day, you're doing you. Yeah. Like, you do you. Don't let the comments get to you. At some point, they might, you know. Yeah. But at the end of the day, who cares?
I feel like that's what it is in every aspect of life. You know what I mean? You can want to be a doctor. You can want to go to the gym. You can want to do this. You can want to do that. If you don't put your mind to it, and if you don't really want to do it for yourself, you're not going to do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, for you, obviamente, you wanted something to distract you, and then you realized that distraction was something that benefited you because you were seeing progress. So, obviamente, quedabas en picada. You're like, oh my God, I want to keep going. I want to keep going. Nos comentas mucho de 2024. You know, you say, you've mentioned briefly about, you know, the start of this year was rough for you. ¿Por qué crees que eso fue? ¿Qué es lo que pasó at the beginning of this year that makes you feel that this year has been rough?
Yeah, so last year, almost at the end of the year, my grandma had passed. And that was kind of hard for me, you know, because I was pretty close to her. And then I was like, you know what, like, from now on, I'm going to think about, like, what was she wanted me to do, you know? Because at that time, I was kind of giving up on everything, you know? And then at the beginning of the year, this whole situation just went down, you know, on social media. And I was going through it, you know? Not only online, but offline. Like, I was really going through it at home with myself. Because, you know, obviously, with everything going on social media, it does get to you. The hate was barely getting to me, but it was more like, why is this image of me being put out there? Yeah. And then my accounts were getting taken down, and then my bunny had passed on me. And at that time, like, my bunny was my only person, you know. I was home all day. My bunny was with me. I would cuddle with my bunny. So for my bunny to just, like, out of nowhere, I was like, damn. Like,
how did he pass away?
He had a heart attack. Yeah, we took him to the hospital. Like, he literally just fell. Like, he fell on me. We took him to the hospital, and they told us that there was nothing really that they could do for him. And I was like, nothing, like nothing at all. And they're like, not really. Like, we can give him antibiotics, whatever, but it's most likely not gonna work. And it was like $700.
Yeah, like it was gonna be a waste of money for something que ya no va.
And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna have my bunny struggling. So I was like, okay, you guys can put him down. And oh my God, I was crying my eyes out for like 2 days straight. And then it was so weird because after the 2 days, it's like I couldn't cry anymore because of how much I had already been crying prior, like the whole entire month. Literally from like the first week of January to like Valentine's Day. From there, even after that, I was crying
like ya no tenías lágrimas.
Yeah, I was crying nonstop, and I was literally losing myself. Like, I really was. Even though this was like a month ago, I was literally losing myself. I couldn't do it. And my mom kept telling me, like, Amanda, get up. Amanda, do this. And I was like, fuck, I can't. Like, and then to go on social media and see everything going on, it was so hard. It was really, really hard. But yeah, again, so going to the gym and really focusing on myself, cutting off a lot of people. Like, when I tell you, half of the people that I was friends with ended up just switching up for the incident. I was like, okay.
So, like, you feel like going to the gym is what helped you kind of uplift yourself from that very dark moment?
Yeah, and it might sound like crazy, but try it, guys. I promise you. Just going, literally popping in my AirPods and just working out for like a good hour and a half, 2 hours straight, going home and taking that warm shower and then getting ready, filming is really what helped me. And yeah, just putting my mind to other things and not like worrying about what other people have to say and just continuing to post, because at the end of the day, people are going to get over the situation because I'm completely over it. I'm so over it.
Nos cuentas un poquito, about your start of 2024. I want to talk about your very public breakup. You know, este año tuviste a super, super public breakup. ¿Cómo fue eso para ti? Cuéntanos un poquito más de eso. You don't have to get into details, pero cuéntanos cómo fue eso para ti.
With this specific person, I would never, ever talk bad about them, But there was stuff going on between us offline that nobody knew. Because online, honestly, we looked like this perfect couple. Yeah. Everyone thought we were okay. But me, mentally, like, I feel like I was checked out of the relationship for over a month, over 2 months.
Yeah.
Because there was just a point where all of our conversations turned into arguments and all communication skills off. Like, everything would just turn into never mind, And again, how my mom always taught me, like, don't settle for something that's, that you're struggling with. And I was struggling to keep up with the relationship, to keep up with school, to keep up with, social media and everything. And also, like, seeing that our relationship was falling off, it hurt me, Yeah. So, yes, for a while, since, like, last year in November, we were off. It was off. Everything was just, like
cold turkey vibes. Like very you're already mentally checking yourself out. Yeah.
It was a conversation with us two for a while that I wasn't feeling it, anymore. And
like you were vocalizing this to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we had tried to work things out, but it was hard. It was most definitely hard. And the one main thing was social media, having to take our stuff off and then say to the public, we were going to say we're good, it was just things didn't work out because for us both, nothing was working out, Great guy, whatever. It's just communication skills were lacking a lot at the end. And that's something that's very important to me because I'm a very communicative person. Like, I want to be able to talk to you and you're going to tell me what's wrong, but that wasn't going on his end, And I feel like sometimes neither on my end. I'm not going to completely blame him because it was also my fault as well.
Like there was just miscommunication.
Yeah, it was a lot of miscommunications. And then also long distance. We try to work things out, but we're teenagers, you know? Like, we want to be able to see each other, and distance was a very big part in it. Not being able to see each other a lot. And I'm a very, physical, affectionate person. Yeah. Like, I want to hug you all the time, So, yeah, it was most definitely hard. And I think to give myself that time to really just, So, yeah, we had broke up offline, right? Okay. then this situation happened. And
So when that happened, you guys weren't together anymore.
the incident?
Yeah, when the incident happened,
We kind of had called it off, but on social media we were still
together
yeah.
for the public. Yeah.
So when we took off our socials, it was actually like the day before everything happened.
Yeah.
And then the day after everything happened, and people thought it was because of that incident, but it wasn't, because I was the one that had broke it off. I was the one that had said, like, I can't do this anymore. But obviously people are thinking it was because of this situation. And yes, this situation was, a reason as well. It was like a reason for us to stop talking.
It was like a breaking point.
But I just wish that the way that it was put online wasn't, because a lot of it was lies, And again, I've tried to clear up a lot of stuff. People are not going to listen. And it is what it is. Yeah. And people behind cameras know exactly what happened. And I'm not going to sit here and beg for you guys to,
believe you.
Yeah, believe me and believe what I say about what happened and what didn't happen, because at the end of the day, I apologized to who I needed to offline, and I explained myself. I already explained myself online as well, like what had happened, but nobody believed me, you know? And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stop explaining myself. Again, I know what happened and I know what didn't happen. And another reason why the hate really doesn't get to me, because it's like, why am I going to believe these lies? Like, why am I going to let lies get to me, If I know that it's not what really happened. Then
what were you doing the moment this blows up online? Obviamente, you get on social media at one point and you find out that there's so much going on with you, the scandal starts picking up. ¿Qué estabas haciendo tú cuando te das cuenta de lo que estaba pasando?
Oh my God, this is kind of embarrassing.
What?
But
You're like, I was in the restroom.
No, I was driving. I was literally had my phone connected to Apple CarPlay, and I was driving, and I remember hearing this. I was like, what the fuck?
You're like, what's going on?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, no way, this is what's being said about me. And the more I kept listening, I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is not true. And I literally wanted to hop on the live right that second and be like, why are you lying?
Yeah.
But my heart was beating so fast, I didn't know what to do or think in the moment. And I ended up parking in this restaurant because I had dropped off a friend and we were going to eat. And I told her, I was like, I'm so sorry, but go with the group. I'm going to stay in the car. And I'm listening to this live and I'm hearing these ignorant people literally lie on my name. And I just start bawling. I get up very emotional, I just started bawling out of nowhere, but I started bawling and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is insane, And I'm reading the live comments and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then as soon as I hear this situation, I'm like, no, like why?
Fuck, yeah.
Yes, and I call my mom and I'm like, Mom, come pick me up. Even though I was driving, I was like, Mom, come pick me up.
You just had anxiety.
Yes,
you couldn't
and
drive.
I couldn't drive. But it was to the point where she was far that I ended up driving.
Yeah.
Crying my eyes out. Oh my God. I almost crashed like 2 times.
Yeah.
And I was trying to focus on the road, but I kept screaming and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell? And then I ended up getting on the phone with my best friend and I was like, bro, come to my house. I need you right now. Like, do you see what's going on right now?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in my bed and my mom is lecturing me. She's like, why would you do this? Why? I told you to be careful with who you're friends with. And now you're letting these people lie on you. And I'm like, I'm sitting there like, what the fuck?
Like, how would have I known?
Yeah.
Like, how would you have known? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just there and I'm just like, yeah, like, this is it for me, I'm thinking this is it for me. How am I going to
come back from this?
How am I going to come back from this?
So you thought at one point that like your social media career was done?
I wouldn't say it was done, but I thought it was like, okay, that's my downfall. Like, that's it, But I thought to myself, I was like, why is it going to be my downfall if it's not true, you know? And these people were talking with absolutely no proof. Literally absolutely no proof. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Let these people talk. And I was like, I have proof of,
everything.
And but again, I don't feel the need to explain myself. Because at the end of the day, I apologized to who I needed to offline. I explained everything to who I needed to offline. And that's just how it's going to stay. I don't need all this stuff to be public. That's one thing I switched about myself was I stopped trying to make everything so public. Yeah. So again, whatever happened, happened. There's a lot of lies that you guys are believing that I've said multiple times didn't happen. But if you guys want to continue to believe it, that's on you guys, you know?
And it's good that you took accountability in person because, obviously I've never been in any situation like the one you were in, but I've been in, dramas or scandals where like, oh shit, like I didn't realize that I possibly hurt someone or that someone got hurt. And I feel like social media has become a place where people feel like they need an explanation themselves when they were even in, the situation. I remember there was this one time where I was getting canceled, over something I had said to a friend. And a huevo la gente quería que les pidiera perdón a la gente. And I'm like, no, yo ya en privado, yo ya tuve una plática con la persona que posiblemente that was hurt, you know what I mean? Y para mí eso es todo lo que importa. Mientras que yo esa persona hablamos y quedamos bien, es todo lo que importa para mí. Did you have, a convo after with the people? You said that you said sorry. Did you guys leave off on good terms?
Actually, yeah, we did. We ended up leaving on good terms, but one of my friends, decided to spread more lies about me, which is kind of what made me and this person completely cut off
Ties.
Yeah, because we were good. I'm telling you, we were
like after like it happened. You guys were good. You guys spoke it out.
Yeah, like we were just like, we're gonna leave it as checking up on each other, friends. Like that's it, And I was fine with that. I never wanted any bad blood to be between us because again, he was a good guy. I'm never gonna talk down on him. But it was just like, damn, like that's crazy, that your own friends can do that to you.
Lo bueno que estás todavía súper joven, you're super young, stuff like this happens all the time. The only thing that sucks is that you had to live it online. Y eso es una cosa de la cual quiero platicar about, going through a breakup is already hard as it is, but having to live that breakup online must have been even harder. How was it for you to deal with this breakup, in person? And I'm talking about, when you're going through a breakup, even if you're mentally checked out, todavía hay sentimientos where you're like, fuck, I don't want to hurt this person, or I hope this is the right thing. You're dealing with a lot of emotions as it is, and so is the other person. How did things change when it was all publicized? How were you dealing with the breakup in person and online?
In person, I was definitely heartbroken. Who wouldn't? Even if you're mentally checked out, you're like, damn, like I just spent this long with this person and now we're over, And I had to learn to not be like communicated with this person all day, how I usually was. So I had to learn to kind of just be on my own. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm learning to be on my own. Like I really literally text two people, my mom and my best friend. Like that's it. Yeah. And I like it that way. I'll text my friends here and there,
Yeah.
Check up. But really it's just my mom and my best friend. Like it's just us. We hang out, whatever. So yeah, in person, I was definitely going through it. But again, being mentally checked out already, I was kind of like, okay, it is what it is,
Yeah. Like you were already accepting it. Yeah.
Yeah. Online, it was definitely harder because I needed people to realize that the situation is not as big as people are making it, People are saying all this stuff that's not true. And it made the situation so much worse, And again, I'm so over the situation that people still talking about it. It makes me like, damn, like let it go. Like, fuck.
You're like, I'm over it. I'm at the gym chilling.
Like, let me live my life now, And yeah, just like seeing all these people have an opinion on something they'd have absolutely no idea about other than what they hear on social media. It's like, come on. Like, you know better.
Did dealing with it online kind of like hurt or affect your healing journey? Y te lo platico en la forma de que obviamente, nos cuentas that you were mentally checked out, you were already accepting it, you were already starting your healing process, and then this happens online. Did that affect your healing process? Did it put you like in a negative mindset?
Yeah, it definitely did. I thought to myself, like, why would I do this? Why am I stupid enough to like do that? I took accountability. I'm stupid for doing that. Honestly, I'm gonna admit it. I'm stupid. But I just hated that, again, what was being said was not true, And I admitted to what I said online. Like I admitted to what I did as well. I said, look, this is what I did. Everything else is false. And people still didn't take it. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But I think like people telling me like, why would you do that? He was such a good guy to you, da 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 da. And it's like, okay, but like you guys don't know what really happened, you know? Like you guys don't know that we had problems. All couples had problems, you know? But we were really going through it, and it was to the point where I was already done with it. I was at my breaking point. It was like our spark was gone in my head and in my eyes. We didn't really have that much of a strong connection anymore, you know? And that's just what happened. We kind of like outgrew each other in a way. And it was more like, I feel like I had already gone through a relationship as well, like before, that I knew that this isn't what
you wanted.
Yeah. I was like, I needed to just be by myself. That's really like what I said in my head.
And I'm very happy, you know, for you that you're in a place now where you're healing, where, you know, you're just trying to better yourself and looking out for yourself, because pasa mucho when you're in a relationship, you kind of get lost, you know, you get lost in trying to be a couple and trying to, you know, be there for your partner. And I'm glad that even after everything that's gone, and I'm glad that even after everything you've gone through, you know, you're still there, you know, pushing and trying to work on yourself. Ya quiero, para terminar esta plática, you know, quiero que nos des un poquito de advice. I want you to give advice to, you know, your viewers, to your girls, or just to the viewers that are watching us right now that are possibly going through a breakup where they feel like, you know, it won't get better. ¿Qué es lo que tú les tienes que decir a esas personitas?
You know, after the breakup, if you feel like that person was meant for you, you can always give it a second try, you know? But if they were not good to you, literally focus on yourself, you know, do yourself, kind of do what I'm doing, you know, start going to the gym, you know, do stuff that you really love to do, that, or make some hobbies that would distract you from, you know, the hurt or the heartbreak. And it will really help you a lot. You will better yourself, you know, start going to church,
You started going to church too?
Yeah.
Oh, how's that?
Good. I started like, I guess, I started praying more too.
Okay.
I started praying more. I would always pray, you know, before going on the freeway and
before bed.
Before I eat. But now it's like when I wake up, like all the time. Like it's all the time. And I think it's really helped me a lot, because also I think another reason why like the beginning of the year was so hard was because I asked God to remove everything bad in my life. Yeah. Or not bad, but to help me overcome all of this and kind of get me to where I'm at now. Yeah. And what he did, I think what he did was he cut off a lot of toxic people in my life, and he put me down a path that I never thought I was going to go down, which was really bettering myself and going down like going out with people who dance more, you know, who do all this, because that's kind of like what I like doing. I've always loved doing that, you know. So yeah, if you feel like your relationship isn't working out and you're not mentally there anymore, or you feel like you're mentally losing yourself in the relationship, focus on yourself, you know, maybe right person, wrong time. Yeah. Or wrong person, right time, or wrong time, you know, you never know.
Or wrong person in general,
wrong person in general, but just focus on yourself, honestly.
And literally, it is very much
and it can hurt focusing on yourself, you know, trying to be just by yourself, but trust me, it'll get so much better and so much more peaceful. Like, you will literally be peaceful within yourself. Your mental health is gonna just
and I feel like, you know, once you really do care about yourself and you only, that's one thing I always say, it's okay to be, you know, selfish, because no one is going to look out for you or care for you as much as you can care for yourself. You know what I mean? So a lot of the times I feel like, because us humans, we're so, you know, we grow up kind of needing of someone, you know, we grow up with needing our parents, you know, our parents feed us. Sentimos como que toda la vida necesitamos a alguien para salir adelante, or we might feel like or we get codependent on people because that's all we know. But I feel like the moment you really start living your life for you and for what makes you feel better, that's when you really will find happiness. You know, I want to touch base about the dancing, porque eso es lo que te estoy diciendo, amiga. Yo pensaba que tú todavía andabas en el TikTok. I didn't know your freaking TikTok's accounts had gotten banned or anything, because Amanda, you guys, literally lives rent free on my For You page. Baile, 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 dude. You are such a fucking pro.
Thank you. Oh my
you
God.
dance so good.
Thank you.
¿Cómo empezó como ese amor al baile? Like, how did you start wanting to dance, or like, how did that love, or where did that love come from?
Yeah. Oh my God. I've always been a love for dancing. I used to do cheer. I used to be in a dance team.
Oh, period.
I've always loved dancing, and especially going to parties like quinces and all that. When the banda was playing, I was the first one on the floor, and I was bringing out my mom, my stepdad, my grandpa, and we'll like start dancing. I'll be on the floor like doing the cumbias and all that. Like I was on there,
bailadora vibes.
Yeah, I love dancing. And last year when I started getting into a friend group that would go out to a lot of like bailes and all that, I started getting into it more, and I started dancing with friends, And then obviously I got into a relationship, so I didn't dance with a lot of people. It was mostly just my friend group and a lot of girls. And girls helped me a lot. Obviously now I can kind of do it without having to worry about disrespecting someone. So I got into it a lot more than I was before, because I would dance before. I just wouldn't post it.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was that good. But yeah, I started learning a lot more now. And yeah, I'm at where I'm at now.
No, you are so good. Did it take you a while to get this good? Because ahorita te miro como pro. Dude. I've seen videos donde te traen vuelta y vuelta. Yo hubiera quedado bien mareado, dude. But you literally are like, you're so, like, the way you follow the partner, like, just by seeing you dance, I can see that you have a great way of following the partner, because ahí andas tú. Si te traen de vuelta en vuelta, tú también. Was there ever like hard for you to become this good of a dancer? Or was it just more like keep practicing till you get it?
Yeah. Well, again, when I was little, when I would be on the dance floor and the banda would play, me and my stepdad he would actually like teach me how to dance. Like he would lead me. So I'll be like, oh, bailadora, on the stage. So yeah, I learned how to follow someone. So I think I'm a pretty good follower. I still need to get a couple steps in, but like now when someone asks me to dance, my mom has always taught me to never say no. So a lot of people saying that I dance with everybody, it's because I was taught to never say no. Yeah. I was taught to like when someone asks me to dance, don't say no, be nice, because it takes a lot of courage to ask someone, because I've asked someone to dance before and I got so nervous. Like I was one person, literally just one person in my life to ask to dance. Like I've only asked one person to dance.
It is very nerve-wracking, because it's like, ¿qué tal que te digan que no?
Yeah, and it's like, damn. But I feel bad because before, like obviously in my relationship, I would tell people no, but I would think nothing of it. But now, like I'm thinking about it and I'm like, damn, like that takes a lot of courage. Yeah. So yeah, when someone asks me to dance, I say yes, and usually most of the time they want to record. So I'm like, of course, why not? I'm like, just send me the video after.
You're like, post it, tag me, literally.
So, yeah, but a lot of people end up posting it, and I'm getting good comments, I like that people are enjoying seeing me dance. There's a couple people that are a little...
You know what's even crazy? Like, I've seen comments, right? Like, we all have people that just hate us and like to hate us for no reason. Like, they've made up their mind. They're like, no, I hate this person. Yeah. I've seen even comments like, oh, I don't like Amanda, but I cannot say she dances bad. Like, she dances so good.
The bope.
Literally, I've seen so many comments, because sí sabes bailar muy bien.
Gracias.
Te he visto que también has hecho eventos. You've gone to events, and now you're even starting to make money off of these events. Yeah. How does that feel to be able to do something you love, that is dancing, and being able to travel, being able to make money with this? Yeah,
it honestly feels so good. So I'm gonna have an event in Houston on the 5th of April, right? And it's gonna be like a baile event. I think this is gonna be like one of my first events like this, because my first like event was a meet and greet. So it wasn't really an event. It was just like a meet and greet, It wasn't like a woo, like,
let's get baile. It was just come in, take a picture.
That was it. But yeah, so I'm gonna have an event in Houston, and that's gonna be kind of like my first baile event, where I'm gonna be able to travel and like all that.
How exciting!
Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited. I'm so I'm proud of myself that I kind of did this. I think this part, like the baile part, I did on my own. I think I really just put myself to it, and I was like, who cares what people have to say, and
it does feel very genuine to you.
And I've always loved doing it, and I feel like this is kind of what I want to do right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm still gonna create my content. I'm never gonna stop creating content, but I also do want to post more of that, because I actually enjoy doing that a lot. Like I could be on that floor for hours dancing and, you know, having people dance with me and all that. I like doing that.
Is there any type of music style or like type of music or type of dances que quieres aprender que a lo mejor ahorita you don't feel like you're so good at?
Sí. I wanna learn cumbias.
I feel like cumbias are kind of hard, no?
Yeah, where the ones that they like do like the spinning and then the hands. The hands. I want to learn how to do that.
My suegros are so good at that, and whenever they try to be like, vente, te enseñamos, I can't keep up.
Like, I can do it on my own. I'm like,
I can just do the the two-step. But ya cuando le agarras la vuelta, que esto y esto, it's hard.
I want to learn how to do. Like, they do like where they drop them and then they use their leg to stop them. And I'm like, damn,
you're like,
I want to do that.
So that's crazy. Are you currently like learning it?
Yeah, I'm learning it right now. I'm learning it with friends. Even like I even try to teach friends to dance so that I can learn how to lead, and then they can learn how to follow, and then it's going to be the opposite. They'll learn how to lead, and I know how to follow.
You want to make sure you're good at both, because obviously you're a good follower, but like you want to be a good leader too.
Like I want to be able to ask out some girls, like, hey, you want to dance with me?
I've seen those TikTok videos. I feel like you should start doing those type of videos.
I do want to do them, but again, I get nervous asking. I've only ever asked one person.
Start doing them, because I've seen a lot of TikToks. No sé si ustedes los miran in your For You pages, you guys, where like it'll be like asking this person to dance, and obviously sometimes they say no, sometimes they say yes, but I feel like that's really, to me, it's like I love the dancing content, but I also love to see like the reaction of the person, whether they're gonna say yes or no. So I feel like people would love to see you in that, you know. I hope que te siga yendo bien, you know. Obviamente ahorita tienes 16 años y vas a seguir creciendo. You're gonna keep growing, not just, you know, as a person, but on social media. Te deseo todo lo mejor. Ya para la última pregunta de hoy, te quiero preguntar, ¿en dónde te miras tú en los próximos 5 años? Ahorita tienes 16, a los 21 años, ¿qué son tus goals? What are your metas? What do you want to accomplish by then?
Yeah, so obviously I want to continue the social media. Maybe it might not last forever, but if I'm able to keep doing it in the next 5 to 10 years, you know, might as well. I do want to start YouTube, you know, when I'm able to get older and have my own apartment, all that. I do want to start YouTube and be able to make content, you know. But also, I want to finish school and then get my high school diploma, maybe even go to college and also do something off social media. I do want to actually get a job too. Like, I want to be a nurse.
Oh, yeah. How exciting.
Yeah, I want to be a nurse, you know. So that's something I've always wanted to do as well. So hopefully maybe that also in 5 to 10
Espero
years.
que sí logres todo eso. Yo te miro ahorita, and I was literally telling Amanda off of camera porque we had like a little restroom break. Well, I had a fucking restroom break porque yo tomo un chingo de agua, amigas. I was literally telling Amanda that I literally was a little nervous like before we like filmed, because I don't know if I even said this, but you are the youngest guest we've had on the podcast. Y normalmente le estaba contando que no suelo traer no suelo traer, you know, like very young influencers, because one, like, I don't know if they're going to be super shy or si no van a poder platicar bien or like keep up a convo. But I was telling her how surprised I am. Like, even though you're 16, no me siento como que si estoy platicando with someone that's 16, porque te sabes explicar, te sabes expresar muy bien. Like, you're able to like hold up a convo, and I'm like, wow, estoy bien impresionada, amigas.
Thank you so much. Yeah, again, you know, growing up with my mom, she's always taught me like how to talk, and again, hanging out with a lot of influencers and being with people who are obviously older than me, because in this, you know, influencer world or social media, a lot of people are older, so they I try to be mature, a lot more mature, so people can have some sort of respect for me. Because I know that since of my age, people won't take me as serious. But it's like I want them to see that I'm serious about this, you know? Like, I'm not just some 16-year-old who wants to do this for just,
for fun, you know, or just to waste your time.
Yeah,
no,
like
you're
I'm doing
serious.
it for both.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for, you know, for fun, because I like doing it, and I'm also doing it because it helps a lot, you know, and it's something that I love doing. It's always something I wanted to do.
And just how you take it serious, you want people to take you serious.
Yeah,
Y sabes que yo sé que va a llegar un punto donde a lo mejor, si no pasa hoy o mañana, va a llegar un punto donde la gente va a mirar, they're going to be like, wow, she's so passionate, she loves what she's doing. Y yo sé que vas a llegar muy lejos. Yo sé que this is only the beginning. Yo sé que nos contaste que you felt like this was the beginning of your downfall, pero yo sé que it's literally just a bump in the road y te vas a levantar and you're literally going to succeed more than what you think you're capable of doing. Y estoy muy contento de que pudiste estar aquí con nosotros para platicar y yo pude conocerte un poquito más y sé que ya en casita también la pudieron conocer un poquito más. Ya para terminar esta entrevista, amigas, if you guys want to go ahead and follow her on all her social medias, make sure you guys do. I'm going to leave them down below as well as on the screen. Y también no se les olvide a seguirme a mí so you won't miss any future episodes. And with that being said, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Honestly, it's such like an honor. Like I'm always watching your stuff when I'm eating.
Yes. Ahora ya le tocó, amigas. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. Bye. Yay, you did so good. Thank you so much.